Hi there, and welcome to my garden where it's all about potatoes. Okay, it's not all about potatoes, but mostly potatoes. And as you can see, we are having plenty of flowers now. And yeah, how tall are they? They're quite tall. It's the beautiful stage when they get the flowers shortly before the stalks flop over. So I'd say 1 meter 30, something like that, maybe 1 meter 40. So they're nice and tall and putting on a show. And if you ever wondered how potatoes are bred, I'm going to show you. Now I do this at home. There's more scientific things that are done in proper potato breeding, of course, but basically you're making a cross, and for a cross you need flowers and pollen, and something to catch the pollen and something to shake out the pollen. So my plan was to breed with this variety here. It's called mehlige Mühlviertler. It's a starchy potato. That's great for making potato dumplings. And it has flowers. And what you can do is checking if it has pollen. And what I'm using here is sunglasses, because they're nice and dark. You can basically use any starch, any shiny dark surface where you can visibly see the yellow pollen. And then I'm using an old toothbrush, and I'll just switch on. And you can see how it's shaking out so you can see there's plenty of pollen from this variety. So we have confirmed that the variety has pollen. Not all potato varieties have pollen. And now we can see if it's making berries. And to make berries, you have to dip. Focus. Thank you. To dip the tip of the flower, the bit here, into the pollen, so it can grow and make a potato berry. So I'm doing this, and it is called self-pollination. That's what happens with the bees, and partly with the wind, and just with with the flowers shaking. And by doing that, we are crossing this variety with itself. We're not bringing in new genes. We're just confirming that it has pollen and that the pollen is viable, that the pollen is alive and doing what it's supposed to do. And there might come up some interesting traits from the variety. It's always useful to self some potatoes to find out what's in the background of their genetic makeup. However, if you want to bring in new genes, and there's little cat keeping me company. She's barely a year old, so she jumps out of the potatoes and scares me. Very playful. To cross in another potato with other genes. For example, some colored genes, like Hilma. She's one of my older crosses, and she has a nice color to the potatoes. And if I bring over pollen from her to the other variety and transfer the pollen, I'm bringing in the genes for colored potatoes and other genes. So what I'm doing here, I switch out and clean, take the clean side of the sunglasses and look if I can make it lose some pollen. I'm getting some. So I'm getting some pollen, but not huge amounts of it. So I'm going to carefully transfer the pollen I got to as many flowers I can find. And now we will have some seeds that are the genetic mix-up with the colorful variety, and we're going to have some seeds that will have the genetic mix from its own pollen. And I'm not hugely concerned about that. You can, by removing the pollen bags here, by removing them early in the bud stage before they are making viable pollen, you can make sure that the flower is not self-pollinating. However, I'm not hugely concerned about that, because I know that all colorful seedlings that I will grow from the seeds of this variety will be from one of my colorful varieties over here, which I have planted close to it on purpose. So any berry that's growing here and making a colorful potato, I know it's one of the others that I planted here, and any white potato growing here will most likely be selfed, because the other white potato varieties that are growing up here in the potato field are not good pollen producers. So I will do this frequently for the next couple of days, bring over pollen, pollinate anything I see here, and then I'm hoping for the best, because I know this variety is able to set berries and make seeds, but it all depends on the weather. If it's too hot and dry, they will just drop. I'm seeing some dropped flowers already. I also see that not all buds have they don't look like they should, so they're somehow unhappy with the weather, and so I'm hoping that it will set a few berries, but I'm not really counting on many. I'm happy if I get a couple, so I can grow out some for next year, and hopefully I will find some colorful starchy potatoes. And somebody lost patience with me. Little cat doesn't think it's too exciting with the potatoes. So I'll continue to do that. Morning time is the best time to do this. Most pollen available. In the evening you won't find much pollen. So I'm going to do this, and that's what I will be doing every morning until I don't find any flowers anymore. Thanks for watching. Happy gardening. Maybe do some of your own crosses. It's much more fun than trying to buy potato seeds. And yeah, happy gardening. Bye.